Okay.
Start recording. So, I've hit start record, so you can yeet on when going.
Hello guys, welcome back to General Chats. I know there's been you've been hit kind of a bit with a couple new episodes, but today I'm joined by another one of my Doubtfully Optimistic co-stars, Sam.
Hello.
Say hi, Sam.
Hello. Good day.
And as you could probably tell, he's here to talk some Attack on Titan with us.
Attack on Titan? I thought we were talking Naruto. Is
If we were talking Naruto, why would you dress like that?
Why not? Yes, yeah, Attack on Titan. As you can see, bit of a fan, mildly so. Just tiny bit, you know. Just.
As you could probably tell from my channel, we're a fan of Attack on Titan.
Yes,
here,
indeed.
Given the two centric episodes I've done so far.
Ooh, two.
Yeah. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about it with a guest who we won't get sidetracked from Attack on Titan.
Yes, no, Attack on Titan, main topic. Sticking with that.
Yeah. So, for those of you on my channel who don't watch Doubtfully Optimistic, which is a crime, you go watch Optimistic, Sam is basically the other anime guy of the group.
Yes, indeed. Yes, I have watched my fair share over the decade now. It's got to be of anime, I would say. Yeah, watched a few. Definitely.
I thought you were about to say watched a few hundred.
Watched a few hundred. I have. I've watched. I think I've watched about 150. I think.
My anime tracker says about 130.
Yeah.
But that's not like. But most of that's not like different shows. It's just like individual like seasons and OVAs and movies.
Yeah, there's definitely a fair share of OVAs out there, especially Attack on Titan. Just a lot. It's just a lot of media. Just a whole load of media.
Alright, then let's kick this off by flexing.
You're the only one that can flex. I haven't got. Surprisingly, saying big Attack on Titan fan, the only stuff I have are like this and the ODM gear and things like that. I haven't got any of the DVDs, manga. I've got the records on order, the vinyl, but that's it. I haven't actually got any physical.
I have one volume.
Oh, I need to get a few. I want to get Lost Girls because Lost Girls is my favourite.
Like a couple of OVAs.
Yes, yeah, that was a. They made the manga which followed Annie, which is set a day before she transforms, and then Mikasa as well. But the OVA anime is just solely based on Annie. It's all the Annie split into I think 3 episodes, but that is by far best anime ever of all time, hands down. Yes.
Alright then, so I know you have no idea what's coming up in the manga.
No, I know 2 spoilers, that's it.
Yeah.
And that is 2 character deaths, and that's it. But are we doing spoilers on this show?
Yeah, yes, I have no spoiler alert, just like, if you get spoiled, that's not my problem.
Okay, I know Sasha's death, and I know Reiner's death. That's it. That's the only context I have since the episode that's just gone. Warhammer Titan. Those are the only 2 spoilers I know. Nothing else I've kept out of it. I didn't actually know / didn't actually remember that those 2 died. Yep. I remember. It's quite a while ago now. It's beginning of last year. It happened because I remember seeing it all over. I couldn't escape the Sasha bit because obviously it's one of the main characters, Reiner as well. But yeah, I couldn't escape that spoiler.
The main Attack on Titan manga stuff that I've known from what's coming up is basically what's happened in the manga over the last like few months.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, reading it's kind of got me worried, but seeing like what's unfolding currently in the anime, I'm actually kind of hopeful.
Yes, I was definitely shocked by the most recent episode. That was good. I wasn't expecting. I'm kind of glad they did the whole 5 episodes on the Eldians, like Falco, Gabby, Udo, and Sophia, because the fact when they killed off Sophia and Udo, I was just like, oh wow, that was quite shocking. very harkens back to the first season of Attack on Titan, where there's just no chill on who lives and who dies. Yep.
I think it was my brother who tried to get me into Attack on Titan, and I think his pitch to me to get me to watch it was, "Oh, the main character dies in like the first few episodes."
I'll admit, I tried to get my brother into watching it. Didn't succeed, because the trouble is, I tried to get a lot of people into watching it. The first episode, and I'd say the first 2 episodes at a stretch, very slow going, very hard to get into, because obviously it's just them as kids. It's like if you were to get people into Attack on Titan by watching the first episodes of this season, it wouldn't do anything for them, because it's very slow. It's very like, kids being wacky kids, and then episode 3 it's like bam, everyone dies. It is hard to get people into it, but when you do it, it's very successful.
Yeah, well, yeah, because there was a big buzz around it when it first came out.
Yes, yeah, no, it was. I think that's all I heard about for a solid year, but I didn't start watching it, I think, until the latter half of the buzz. Like, I had like other stuff to watch, like it was during whilst I was watching like Naruto and all the other anime I'd started. I sort of didn't get into Attack on Titan until the latter half of the buzz, when it sort of died down, and then the hiatus happened.
I didn't actually start watching it until like 2019, I think.
No, that's
because I was watching it on the bus to college.
Yeah, no. I would say from season 2 onwards was a good time to get into it, because like when season 1 came out, it was like the big boom. Everyone was talking about it. Pretty much everyone was into it. But by season 2, where there was that like 4-year gap, the only people that were left were the ones that were like super into it, die hard, like really enjoyed the series. They were the ones that were left, like, that were hopeful. So when you watched it from season 2, when you then spoke about Attack on Titan, it was people that you could generally have like a conversation about it. It wasn't like, yeah, I've watched that, it's really brutal. And it's like, yeah, like when Demon Slayer came out. Not Demon Slayer, Goblin Slayer, that's it. When Goblin Slayer came out, and everyone was like, oh, it's so shocking. And that was it. That's all you heard about it. No, it's definitely, I got my friends into it sort of around the time part 1 of season 3 was coming out, and then that was a good time to, because they were like right in the midst of it, which I enjoyed. Yeah,
that's like, you know, I kind of like watched season 1 towards the end of 2019, and I was kind of like on a little bit of a hiatus from it. So then when the first lockdown started, I was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to binge the rest of Attack on Titan that I need to see.
Yeah, no, it's Attack on
Titan. That resulted
Titan...
in an 8-month gap between when I finished and new episodes.
Yeah, Attack on Titan, and I would say My Hero. Probably the only 2 series I have kept up to date with. I mean, well, there's also like other ones, but they're the 2 main ones that I've kept up to date. The other ones I still need to finish watching, like Naruto. I'm only a quarter of the way into that, and things like that.
I've officially acknowledged My Hero as my favourite anime.
Nice. No, it is good. It's up there on my list. Doesn't quite make the top 10. It's like 11, but it's close. Attack on Titan, specifically Attack on Titan Lost Girls, is number 1 and
this
will
is
probably
this is how
remain.
much I'm committed. I have Heroes Rising on Steelbook.
No, Heroes Rising...
And this was a movie I was really worried about, considering I knew what the plot was before I watched it, and I was like, okay, it could be terrible.
Heroes Rising and Two Heroes, which one's that? Is Two Heroes the one with the island, where they go to the island and it's got like Wolfgang?
No, Two Heroes is the one where they're in kind of like this technological city.
I've watched that. I don't think I've watched Heroes Rising.
And Heroes Rising is the one, they're on a city, on an island under siege.
No, I haven't seen Heroes Rising. I've only seen Two Heroes.
Because this one, in Japan it came out at the end of 2019, but it just came out at like, for us, it was kind of like, it was in cinemas, in like February last year.
Oh no, I haven't seen it then. I saw Two Heroes in cinema, but I haven't seen Heroes Rising at all. I need to watch that.
Here's an interesting fact for you might not know. the Japanese star of Attack on Titan, it actually has a pretty important role in My Hero,
Who does he play? I think
Todoroki.
That's it. I thought I heard that somewhere. Yeah, I can see that.
Hmm.
I can see that happening.
You'd,
Both
you'd actually
moody
be,
teens.
you'd actually be surprised how much range that actor has, because I actually watch quite a few of his shows.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure the Japanese voice actor for Mikasa is in quite a lot, and like a lot of ranged roles as well. No, it is quite good. It's got a good cast.
Said this to one of my friends a couple of times. The English voice actor for Eren, he's in like absolutely everything mainstream.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't heard the English cast in a while. I watched, I think, definitely the first season in dub, because it was all dubbed by the time I got around to watching it. I think I started watching season 2 in dubbed, and then where it was like a week behind, I just committed to watching the sub. And I've watched the latter half, so part 2 of season 3, but when I rewatched it with my friends, I watched that in dub because we had it on in the background. So we were just listening to the dub because we could picture the scene that was happening because we'd already seen it. But no, I don't remember it much.
I've become mostly unable to watch dub, like 99% unable to watch.
I'm slowly moving back into it just because like I want to like bash out series, because I used to be able to like bash out an anime in like 2 nights, but now I can barely do it in a month.
Outside of like the childhood classics that I remember from like my childhood when I was like first into anime before my big anime hiatus, I watched pretty much everything in dubbed because I didn't know any better.
Yeah, same.
Then like now that I'm like full into anime, I have checked out like a couple of other things in dub, and I just found like there's only like a couple of dubs I can really handle.
Yeah, no, there's only a few good ones. Like Cowboy Bebop is the standout for amazing. The dub is better than the sub. There's what I said, Ghost Stories, renownedly known as a terrible anime, but the dub is hilarious because they basically just got the rights to it. They were just like the company that sold it, that made it originally, just like, we don't want this, it did terribly, here's the thing for you to dub, you can do whatever you want to it. They made it one of the funniest things I've ever seen because it's just an official abridged series. And then there's a few decent dubs here and there, like the High School DxD one's quite funny.
Personally, unlike as a diehard fan of High School DxD, I have something against that. Dub.
I big fan of that. Was one of the very few ones, one of the first ones where I started watching, and I started watching it dubbed because it was during my time of watching it dubbed. So like I have the dub holds a special place.
Okay, here's the good point for you to remember. The dub ruins one of the most important plot points of the show.
Which one?
The big plot line in like season 4, where and like a bit of season 3, Rhea starts to get upset because Issei calls her president instead of Rhea.
Oh, yeah, no. By that time, to be fair, I did start watching it subbed. I remember I watched the most recent series, which is season 4, isn't it? When that came out, I watched that subbed because I again couldn't be bothered to wait a week for the dub to come out.
Guess who's the Japanese voice of Issei?
Eren.
Yep. Because I think I watched 3 anime shows this simulcast season subbed, and all 3 of those, the main star is the Japanese voice of Eren.
He is just playing demons, just island demons, demons. Is he Demon Slayer?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so I currently watch him in Attack on Titan final season, The 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh yeah, demons.
And this new anime, Back Arrow.
Is there any demons in that?
No.
Oh.
It's kind of like futuristic tech in a medieval society kind of thing.
3 out of 4 is not bad. demon. Not demon. Yeah, Paladician demon. But yeah, we very much got sidetracked. Yeah.
Anyway, back to Attack on Titan. Look at how amazing this Blu-ray for part 1 of season 1 is.
Is that in the slipcase? Is it part 1
Yeah,
and part 2?
Yeah.
Oh. I need to get... I know there's one where it's not individual ones like that. It's just the slipcase and it folds out. Because I don't like the look of Blu-ray cases. That's why I always like steelbooks. But like the actual Blu-ray case itself, I don't like that. It just looks like a PlayStation game. Like a shrunken PlayStation game. But no, I need to get the DVDs. I just want to wait until they release like a bulk one of like a special edition deluxe.
I've just ordered all 4 Blu-rays, but this one's the first one that came. But season 2 was the hardest one to get on hold of.
Yeah. Season 2 is like semi forgotten about, but it was like still one of the strongest seasons. I mean, to be fair, season 1 was average, and then season 2 onwards is just like peak. Like it got better and better and better and better to the extent season 3 part 2 is one of the highest rated animes of all time. I think it's still in the top 5 on my anime list, but yeah.
I absolutely love Attack on Titan as a show, but I felt like I had like a little bit of a complaint when it came to season 2 and season 3. Like, it wasn't like a big build up to a battle in the finale. It was just kind of like they had the big battle a couple of episodes before the finale, and then just kind of like the rest of the season after that was kind of like political fallout.
I enjoyed that. Like, usually I don't care much for politics in shows. I think growing up on the prequels sort of does that. Attack of the Clones, I'm like, boo politics, but now I'm older, I'm like, it's kind of interesting. But like, I enjoyed like season 3 part 2, where it was just them trying to stage a military coup and then get Historia in charge. Like, I enjoyed that because it was like the tension of the building up the plot and the lore just to stage like this coup between all the military. No, that was season 3 part 1, wasn't it? Yeah, that was part 1, because part 2 was the everyone dies. Yeah, part 1.
His story is supposed to have a role in like the final arc.
Yeah, I hope so, because she's in charge. She's the queen.
Yeah, but I think you'll find there's an interesting development surrounding her.
Ooh. I mean, but we already found out in the episode just gone, not this episode, the one before, about the king of the walls and how he wasn't actually the bad guy to the Marlians and things like that. He was the saviour to the everyone. I think is what I kind of got from it. From is that stuff, there's a lot of exposition, and where there's such a gap between season 4, season 3 part 2 and season 3 part 1, I'm like, especially season 3 part 1, there's such a gap between that and season 4. I'm like, I don't fully remember the context or like the story. It's like all I know is not much. There's titans in the wall and things like that. But
I was kind of like that at the beginning of season 4. I did think, maybe I should have gone back and watched that Chronicle recap movie that came out recently.
Yeah, especially with the beginning of season 4, when I completely forgot about all the Eldians, the Marlians, and this massive battle breaks out, and I'm like, who are the good guys? Who are the ones that are in there? And I was like,
I think season 4 they changed the perspective to tell it from like the Eldians' point of view, to make Eren and the Survey Corps the bad guys.
Yeah, which I did enjoy, because I think had they not, the fact when they killed off like Udo and Zofia, I've just been like, oh. But when that happened, I was like, they're not dead, are they? They can't be dead. Because then they like Zofia's crushed into the thing, and I'm like, nah, they can't be dead. And then they're like, no, they're dead. I'm like, they what? And then Udo dies, and I'm like, oh, they are.
I legitimately gasped when Levi swung in and made his appearance.
Yep. Also, kind of funny how he's the only one wearing this bright green cape. I was like, who's that? Because everyone's got like the jet black and
He's the only one wearing his original outfit.
Yeah. No, I like
everyone else is wearing their new battle.
Yeah, their new Mandalorian looking. It looks like if they stuck a Mandalorian helmet on them, it'd 100% be like steampunk Mandalorian. I would also love the pistols.
Pascal to do the dub.
Pedro Pascal is Levi. No, I really like how they've designed, like the thunder spears are using them more, and the pistols they get from the other, all the entire armor they get from the Kenny, all of his crew, and but they've upgraded the pistols to be Mausers. So technically, you can convert them into Han Solo's blaster. They're shooting each other, but with the hooks on, which is really cool.
It's a good thing I've gotten / getting the whole of Attack on Titan, so I can like rewatch it, because when like the Survey Corps turned up in the latest episode, mostly because of like the changed character designs, I was like, I don't know who half of the people are.
Yeah, luckily someone scrolling through TikTok, and I watched 2 videos on Attack on Titan. Now every 5th video is an Attack on Titan video. It was, I think I've gotten a mild spoiler, or it might be quite a big spoiler, because I keep seeing, Eren appearing during season 1, Eren appearing during season 2, and it's like an older Eren. But the other one was hidden details in season 4, like you see Jean in the background when they're talking, the guy's reading the newspaper, and he walks off, that's Jean. So I already knew what he looked like he had the long hair and the curtains, and everyone has stubble. Don't know why everyone has a beard.
Yeah, it's because like remember a couple of episodes ago that soldier who led those 2 warriors into the pit and trapped them.
That's Armin, isn't it?
I was like, that's legit Armin.
I saw the little bottom of the bowl cut, and I was like, yeah, that's Armin with his stupid little hair. Yeah, Piek and Porco? Is it Porco?
Something like that.
Yeah, the Jaw Titan, and then Piek is the Cart Titan, who is...
It's just kind of like ironic that Eren's the Attack Titan.
Yeah, it's like, what can we name this Titan? Well, what's the series called? Attack on Titan.
There you go.
Just take the Attack Titan.
Attack Titan.
When I first heard that, I was like, it's clever, but...
I legit forgot, like, if they had actually, like, in the previous seasons, actually called Eren the Attack Titan before. I forgot.
Yeah, because every time they refer, I always keep thinking he's Founding Titan, but they're like, it's Attack Titan. I'm like... Oh, right, because they've got all 8 Titans now, haven't they? No, they haven't, because there's
only 7 Titans.
Because there's Colossal, which is Armin, Attack, Eren, Jaw, Porco, Cart, Piek, Armored Reiner, Beast,
Warhammer.
And Warhammer.
Yeah, there's 7.
And then there's Founding.
Yeah, but I think that's all of them merged.
Is it?
It might be.
That's why I can never figure out what the Founding Titan is, because they refer to Eren as the spoiler, the one that stole the Founding Titan's powers, and I'm like, what does that mean?
It's kind of like they never actually explained how, like, the guy who Willie Tiber, the guy who got up on the stage and gave that speech, never actually explained how he knew Eren's name, or how he knew about him, unless Reiner told him.
Or there's also the whole thing about the past lives, because when you meet Eren Kruger, the one that injects his dad, who's on the wall, the one that is the original Attack Titan, he talks about them, because they share memories, but I think they can share memories in the future as well, because he refers to Mikasa and Armin and things like that. But that's obviously the future memories of who he turns into, so...
That's freaky.
Yeah, that's why I saw the thing, and I'm pretty sure it is a spoiler, but I haven't even attempted to look into it, nor do I want to. It's the where older Eren is in season 1, so you see him when Eren's a kid. You see older Eren in the background. So I don't know what that is. It's a good
thing I'm gonna It's a good thing I'm gonna be rewatching and keep on the lookout.
Yeah, no, I do. I think he's in 3 scenes in season 1, twice when they're kids. The first time you can't see him because it's the back of him in the crowd, but he has like his haircut. And the other one, he's like literally in a hoodie and he's like leaning against the wall. And there's one other time I've literally just been watching like missed details you've missed during it, and you don't spot it the first time around, but it shows how much of a deep story it is. The fact that in the first season they were already talking about stuff that's happening in the latter half of the final season, like how well planned out the entire story is.
Well, the final season's going to be only 16 episodes, but yet they need to, and in that they need to complete 2 arcs, one of which isn't even finished in the manga yet.
Well, I think it's on episode 6 now.
Yeah.
Half of 16 is 8. I think they could do 2 arcs in 8 episodes, because they've got 2 episodes left of, I guess, the first arc, which I think they could kind of round off. Because they can fit a lot in an episode. I'm always surprised how much.
The first arc of the final season is the Marley, and then the second arc is the War for Paradise.
Oh.
And that one I know is the most game-changing arc.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, I've heard snippets of things that I've tried to like put at the back of my mind, like characters' allegiances and stuff, but I haven't looked into them at all.
What I learned about like the plot and that of the final arc it was kind of like what made me wary going into the final season in the first place.
Yeah, that is always why I always try to avoid like reading the manga, because when there was the hiatus between season 1 and season 2, literally the only I say that there was Attack on Titan Junior High, which is actually a really good series. I love that series so much. There was that, and there was also like the OVAs to watch, but like otherwise when you finish watching those, there's still 3 other years between that and season 2, and that by the time season 2 came out, it was at the bit where they're in season 3 part 2 where they're fighting the Colossal Titan in the manga. So like Hanji loses her eye. What's her assistant called?
I have no clue.
Her assistant dies, saving her. And literally like it was just before Bertold dies, so everyone dies basically, was the point the manga was at, whilst the series hadn't even started season 2. Like I remember seeing that as like Hanji dies, because that was they hadn't shown what happens to her, they just showed the massive explosion and that's it, and it was like Hanji dies for like a solid 2 months. Everyone thought Hanji dies, and I was like, no, best character, and then they were like, oh no, plot twist, she survives.
Hanji has an important role in the final arc.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot about Hanji playing a big role, but yeah, I have literally tried to avoid everything. Literally the only thing I've seen is Sasha dying. I've seen the panel on how that happens, and I'm like, oh, it's really sad. And then Reiner I know Reiner.
When Sasha turned up in the latest episode, I was like, she looks familiar. Who is she?
I think I have a feeling from what I remember. I'm pretty sure Gabby might kill her. I can't remember. Don't spoil it. But I know she gets sniped. She's sniping people on a Zeppelin, I think one of the airships, and then she looks down the scope and then someone snipes her. I know that happens. And Reiner is giving Falco the Armored Titan. I know that's happened I think it's to save Falco, he gives him the Armored Titan. I think, is what I've seen, that's how Reiner dies, is Falco eats Reiner, I think. But that's it, that's all I know. I've avoided everything else. But yeah, the trouble is when an important character dies, there is no way you're avoiding it, because these are people that have been with people for Jesus, it's got to be a decade. How old is Attack on Titan?
I think it started in 2009 though.
Yeah, so it's over a decade. It's 12 years old. That's a long old time.
And it's ending in April, just after the anime ends.
Wow. Wait, so it aired in April, was it? Did it first air in April? Or so is it going to be exactly 12 years, or?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, but yeah, that's 12 years. So these characters you have been with for 12 years. So like when Sasha died, it was about 10 years at that point, because it was 2019 when that happened. So that was like massive. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, Sasha just died." I'm like, "Oh."
It's kind of like the same thing with Naruto when like you're with characters for like 15 years and it ended, but yet they gave you an opportunity to carry on being these characters.
Yeah, no, I need to. I started Naruto during middle school, during the same time Attack on Titan first aired was when I started Naruto, and I'm still only during the Sasuke retrieval squad. I'm still in that episode arc.
Like, I haven't completely watched Naruto shows, but I have watched a great deal of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of big shows. I haven't even, nor I don't think I'll ever start watching One Piece, because that's just a lot. Same with Dragon Ball, that's a lot. Like, I started watching Naruto and Sailor Moon about halfway through the original Sailor Moon, and then I started watching Crystal, which is just a condensed version that's more like the manga, but still has all like some of the same plot points. There's still some things the original show does better, but I still need to finish watching that. But that's like 100 episodes. Naruto's 600 episodes, is it? It's like 400, and then Shippuden.
There's 200 for the origin Unleashed. There's like 500 for Shippuden, and then Boruto like 200.
Ah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I can barely get through a 10 episode series. Jesus.
I could get through. I could get through like a 10 episode show in like a couple of days.
I think now I'm definitely gonna have to go back to watching dubs, because I've gotten into watching a lot of stuff whilst I make things like models and stuff. I'll have something, because I have 2 monitors. I have one in the corner, so I'll put shows on. That's how I've watched stuff like new Netflix shows and stuff like His Dark Materials and Queen's Gambit. I had just on in the background, because like you know when something picks up, because everyone starts talking louder and more, so you're like, oh, something's going to happen, so then you can quickly watch it and then go back to what you're doing. And that's sort of the same with anime. I need to get back into dubs solely for the purpose of being able to easily binge watch a series without having to read the subtitles to know what's happening, or learn Japanese. But
probably helps with some of the newer shows that like they haven't been picked up for a second season yet.
Yeah, so I can I still need to watch Demon Slayer, still need to watch everything, really. Honestly, I haven't watched a lot. This time I've been reincarnated into a slime.
I like binged that New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, like the whole 24 episode season. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that. I need to watch that. I need to watch so much. Honestly, I need to watch so much. There's few series that I've still kept up with. There's Attack on Titan, My Hero, and Ruby, which I have wearing. It's too much to get off, but I have the Attack on Titan Ruby crossover t-shirt they did, because I love that anime. I've been watching that anime since that first came out, which is about the same time as Attack on Titan, actually. They came out when I my point of reference is when I was in middle school, these shows came out. So Attack on Titan came out when I was in like year 7. Ruby came out when I was in year 7. I started watching Naruto when I was in year 7.
I think year 7, first year of high school, was when I started like slowly getting introduced to anime.
Oh, did you? Wait, was your year 7 in high school?
Yeah.
Oh, mine was middle school. I did
the
the 3.
Because I went to high school in Wales.
Yeah, no, I had the 3, so first school, middle school.
Oh wait, no, I think I started getting into anime, but like didn't really know it was anime like in primary school, like year 5 and year 6.
It's just like Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, that same, but I always, Pokemon is one of those things like Pokemon, Digimon. I guess to an extent Naruto, because they aired that in. I started, but the first episode I watched of Naruto ever was in French. Not in the class. I went on holiday to France, and they had it on TV. It's still one of the best episodes. Like I watched it in French, like so it was subtitled, but it was in French, which was really jarring. Like it wasn't Japanese, it was French, and the subtitles were in English. I was like, what? And it's still one of the best episodes. It's the one with the guy with the massive Buster Sword and the face wraps, and the one his sidekick, he throws like knives and stuff. Do you know what I'm on about? It's like very early on in the season 1, but it's that episode that's a really good episode.
Zabuza.
Yes, yeah, the episode where he dies when they're on the bridge. That is what I watched in France. That's the first ever Naruto episode I watched, and it's still one of the best ones I've watched so far, because I rewatched it and I was like, I remember this. But yeah, that's the first proper.
It's a good thing they eventually gave us a Zabuza.
Pardon, you cut out. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, it's a good thing they eventually gave us a Zabuza Kakashi rematch.
Did they?
Yeah.
I thought he dies.
He does. You probably haven't watched a lot of Shippuden, so you wouldn't know about the Ninja War arc.
Nope, I haven't watched a single bit of Shippuden because I haven't finished Naruto. I will. I'll get around to it. It's always on hold, but.
Be warned, the final arc of Shippuden took 5 years of anime to do.
Wow.
which was kept getting intercutted with filler.
Yeah, that's the drop. I'm glad. Going back to Attack on Titan. Not that much filler. Not that much filler. Every filler they do is an OVA. I think season 1, or no, season 1 didn't even have filler because it was introducing the characters and the fun, quirky time at training. But like you have the OVA where Sasha and Jean have that cooking competition and things like that, and then immediately going from that goes to No Regrets, the bit where you learn Levi's backstory and like his friends in the survey squad, and then it goes back to like another fun, quirky thing, and then it's like, aha, here's this fun thing about Marco and John. Yeah, now Marco's just died, and you're like, oh dear, no.
What I want to know / remember is how are Levi and Mikasa related?
Because it's the Ackerman.
Yeah, because they have the same surname and they kind of look the same.
They haven't said that yet, I don't think. I think they've probably revealed it now at some point, but they haven't so far in the series said it. Because all I know is you have like Levi is Ackerman because his mum is Kenny's sister, so Kenny is his uncle, so Kenny Ackerman, so they have the same surname.
Isn't Levi's surname adopted though? Isn't Levi adopted?
No. Technically, but well, his surname is technically his mum's maiden name, but I don't know because his mum didn't actually get married. So because his Kenny Ackerman, his sister is Levi's mum, but Levi's mum I think was like a prostitute or something. I think, so she never got married, so her name was Ackerman. So I think it's Mikasa that's adopted, technically, because Aaron's family adopt her, but
then she would have taken on the name Jaeger.
Well, not always.
And that would have been complicated when she tries to get with Aaron.
Exactly, that's why I think they didn't change the name, otherwise that would be a bit strange. I mean, it already is kind of strange, but
there are stranger anime out there.
Yep, Kiss exists.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yep. It's quite funny, to be honest. It's quite hilarious. And then you have
the problem with that is there's a main anime show, and there's like an OVA, like a whole season of OVAs that have like a narrative arc over.
I have watched both. I started reading the manga. Manga's very weird because it's done as a 4-panel comic. Each one's one of those 4 or 8-panel. I can't remember what they call it, but it's like our equivalent of like Beano and Garfield comics, but for manga, sorry, is how they do theirs, and they're like anthology ones. Because I know Girls and Panda does it, and like that's another one of my favorite series. But yeah, that's years. Have you played though any of the Attack on Titan games?
No. Wait, there's Attack on Titan games?
There are 2. They are on PlayStation. Really good. There's one all of season 1, and the one of all of season 2. They haven't. They'll probably make one for each season, but they're really good. The combat's really good.
The one Attack on Titan thing I really want to watch is the live action.
Yeah, I was about to ask, have you watched those? I haven't watched them yet. They look really weird, but they also look really cool because they're like set during Attack on Titan, but they have modern weapons. Like Hanji has an RPG, but like a modern RPG, and she like hugs the RPG. That's the only scene. And the general, Irvin's not in it. They just have a different general. I think he's not in at least the first season, but he has like the 2 military escorts, just like really strangely dressed women. I'm like, where's this meant to be set? Like, how's it? But yeah, they have like machine guns, and they have howitzers instead of cannons. They have like actual guns, and which is kind of cool, to be fair. It's basically what they have on the mainland, but in Attack on Titan. But yeah, I need to watch it just because it looks really dumb fun. Yeah.
Now that we've talked about it, I might watch the first one.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm currently riding Attack on Titan High, so I need to watch it. Have you watched Junior High? Attack on Titan Junior High?
I have not.
so funny. It's the entire first season, but they're in high school, so all the events that happens are just like hijinks high school. It's really funny. So they're all in high school, and the Titans, like they live inside the walls in this big high school, but the Titans are just like bullies, and they just keep trying to like steal their lunch. They don't eat people; they just eat their lunch. It's really funny. It's a really good. It's all like a chibi style design of all the characters.
That just sounds like it's Attack on Titan.
It's good. It's so good. It's worth. I think it's quite a few episodes. It's just one season.
It's a 12 episode.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's a good binge watch. I watched that and I was like, this is hilarious. This is exactly what I want to watch. There's that. Have you seen Lost Girls? That's great. Honestly, so far I still think that's peak Attack on Titan. I mean, the latter half of season 3 is pretty peak, but like it's 3 episodes about Annie having conflicted opinions about killing everyone. It's basically
don't forget first is
ultimate peak.
Yeah.
Nah, first season is, I would say, the lower half of. I would say peak is season 3 part 2, season 3 part 1, season 2, season 1. All the OVAs are spread out throughout them, and season 4 is still undecided because it's still coming out. But no, I would say season 1 is the weakest, but not in a bad way, because it's the first season. I think you can always expect, if you make a sequel season that's better than the first one, the first one's always going to be. Attack on Titan is one that hasn't suffered with getting worse as it goes on. It's gotten significantly better. Like, the jump from season 1 and season 2 was like, yes, season 2 is really good, season 3 is really good, season 3 part 2, pinnacle anime, top 5. So I looked at the top 1,000 episodes of all time on IMDb, and that's including live action series. It goes number 1, Ozymandias, the Breaking Bad episode, which I think. Have you watched Breaking Bad?
I've watched two whole seasons.
Okay, I won't say it then because it's a big spoiler. I think
It's
is that the
fine, I know what
episode,
happens.
the bit where Hank dies. I think that's Ozymandias. I think that's and that's the best TV episode of all time. Then it goes Attack on Titan season 3 part 2. It has 2 episodes, which is Hero and so when they do the charge to the Beast Titan. That episode, and then the episode afterwards where they're deciding who gets the serum. Those 2 are in the top 3 episodes of all time across any series. Then it goes Clone Wars, the final season. Then it goes Siege of Mandalore. But yeah, they are in the top 3, both of them, episodes of all time across any series.
Damn, represent.
Yeah. So and that's literally that's beating any Game of Thrones. It's beating Chernobyl. That's beating all of the highest rated series of all time. Band of Brothers. It's up there. I can't quite remember in the top 250 series. I can't quite remember where Attack on Titan placed, but it's still pretty high. It's still quite high up on the list. I'm going to check actually, because that one's.
Oh.
Let me check.
I would have hoped that with the final season of Attack on Titan they would have used it to get star power in some like big Japanese anime voice acting.
Yeah, I do.
That would have been really.
TV shows.
Just hear like the voices of some of your favorite anime characters coming out.
To be fair,
because I already know that the star of Tokyo, Japanese star of Tokyo Ghoul, he's in the final season.
Really? Oh, the one that plays Kaneki?
Yeah.
Oh, who does he play?
Falco.
Oh, interesting. Right, okay,
And I just got done watching his latest show, where he, like, from the last anime season, that he was the lead of, so.
Wow, Avatar The Last Airbender is number 12 on the top 250. I'm currently rewatching that series. I forgot how good it is because I rewatched it ages ago.
I've never watched it.
So good. Really good. I always find it strange though, Death Note is better than Death Note is ranked higher than Cowboy Bebop. Where is
on
it?
on the Blu-rays, it says a big selling point is from the director of Death Note.
Here it is, number 52 on the top 250. So
Do you see that? It says from the director of Death Note.
did not know that. Did not know that. So
I've never watched the Death Note.
I have watched the movie, the live action movie on Netflix, and I started watching the series. And controversially, I'm going to say I prefer the movie because it's just dumb fun. I don't really enjoy the series. It was a bit.
I've read all of the manga.
Is it any good? I know the twist is different at the
great.
end. I know the ending they've changed in the series.
Is it a little maybe psychotic that I read Death Note in primary school?
I mean, they had it in my middle school library. They had Death Note. They had Death Note in the first volumes, 3 volumes of Naruto.
I had to secretly borrow it off friends so I could read it. But they fully knew I was reading it.
Yeah.
They gave it to me.
I haven't read it. It's always in when I worked in Smiths. We always had Death Note. I didn't sell too well actually, but that was because it's very old now. It's a very old series. Well, I guess it's older than Attack on Titan.
Classic.
So. But Naruto. They had the first 3, and I had to read it twice because I didn't know how mangas work. So I read the first volume of Naruto, and I read it normally. So I read from left to right. So I was reading the story backwards. And then I got to the end, and it's like, this is the way you're supposed to read it. And I was like, I got to check it back into the library. And then a week later, I got it back out again and read it normally. And I was like,
I have the first 20 manga volumes of Naruto.
I think my friend does as well. My friend has a lot of Naruto. He's watched all of them, fully up to date, including Naruto. He's like a big old Naruto fan. Yeah, he has. I think he has a good portion of them. But no, I need to get all the Attack on Titans.
But I think people are conflicted about Boruto. Whenever I mention that I watch Boruto to my brother, it's like he has some kind of PSD.
Yeah, my friend is very iffy as well because he's like a diehard Naruto fan, and Boruto is literally here's the thing you love, but it's about their kids, who are significantly more annoying than their parents, which makes sense. It's I guess it's I would say it's kind of like what Legend of Korra is to Avatar, but it's not, because Legend of Korra is really good. I love that series, and that's yes, it's the characters' kids, but they're not really that annoying. They're good characters. And it's a sequel to
Are you gonna end off your last Airbender rewatch with a watch of the live action movie?
Yeah. No,
you better have your suicide prepared.
I have that on DVD. That was my first introduction of Avatar. I tell a lie. It was on it because I was one of those. Didn't have Sky TV or Nickelodeon, so I only had the luxury of watching Avatar when it first aired, in snippets. I watched the odd episode whenever they aired it on CITV. So I remember one specific episode from season 3, the latter half of season 3. I remember watching that, and then then the movie came out. So I watched that, and I was like, this is really good, because I was a kid. This is really good. And then I watched the series on what was before Amazon Prime. There was Love Film. Was an Amazon thing. And before that, there was another thing. So there was Amazon Prime. Before Amazon Prime, there was Love Film. On your Kindle, you could watch it with your Amazon account. Before that, there was another Amazon Prime, but not Amazon Prime. And I watched Avatar on that. That's how long ago I watched Avatar. Amazon Prime.
I've never watched it, but I'm given to understand that the live action terrible.
It's atrocious. It is. I mean, it still holds a very, very small bit of nostalgia. I can watch the movie and be like, this is atrocious, but this is what technically got me into watching it. So
is it kind of like how Game of Thrones fans would react whenever someone mentions the ending of it?
Worse. It's worse. I'm trying to think of a parallel to... Oh, no, I know a parallel. It's the sequels. It's how Star Wars fans react to the sequels.
Divided?
The bad half. Not the bad half. The Star Wars fans are the sequels are terrible. So a good portion of the fan base, is the how they react to the sequels compared to the originals is how people react to the movie. But worse, because it is collectively agreed the movie is an abomination. And it's...
I was seeing on Twitter yesterday that apparently the animation studio behind the final season of Attack on Titan has been getting some hate.
Why?
I don't know. Apparently they're just like
I don't...
throwing hate. I don't know. I didn't actually even know about it till I saw like a reaction and tweet on Twitter from like an account I follow.
I would say I'm surprised, but that guy literally burned down that studio in Japan because he didn't like something they did, so I'm not even surprised. That's the bad side of anime, the community. That's the trouble. It's really good.
Then I just saw like the best like slap back tweet going like, well, you better start being appreciative of Mappa, because without them there wouldn't be a final.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the things like what happened with Cyberpunk. People are complaining how bad and rushed Cyberpunk is, but the studio was literally getting death threats from stupid children to release the game. They were like, release the game, otherwise we're going to kill your family, and they were sending death threats to the creators, the developers. So that's why they rushed the game out, because they...
Why would they take death threats from children?
But no, that was like across the board, but that was people are calling them children because they're children. So that's why the game is rushed. One of the reasons, at least, not the main reason. It's not a finished game, but like that. One of the reasons was because people were literally making them release the game, so they released the game. So like,
and then they got damaged. The fact that they released a bunch of glitches.
Yep, it's getting fixed. The PS4 version should be fixed by end of this week, next week, hopefully, because I got it on PS4. It's not bad. I played it. I played the first hour of it, and it runs fine. There's a bit glitchy in places there, but like it's nothing compared to what happened with Arkham Knight. That was a terrible release. That was a game that was not optimized. I waited a year. I pre-ordered that the moment it was announced. I waited a year for it to release. It didn't come till a week later. It was delayed the shipping. Amazon didn't deliver it until a week later, and I couldn't even play it because the game was broken, because it didn't even work on PC. And I've only played it now when it was the free game of PlayStation PS4. When it was the free PS4 game of the month, it's the only time I've actually properly played that game. I've refused to play it since. But I need to get back into playing it, because I would say it's the only one I haven't played. I haven't played Arkham Asylum. I played the first half of that game, and then City came out, and I was like, oh, City's much better. But yeah, that's the trouble. People were just forcing studios to do stuff and then complain when it doesn't go well, and I'm like, well, you shouldn't have.
It's double whammy.
Yeah, it's just it's the trouble things fall with having a very toxic side of your fandom. Anime is definitely one of those that is a 50-50 split. It either has a good fan base, but it also has a terrible fan base as well, and that's the trouble. Like Attack on Titan, when that came out, you had the good fans, you had the toxic fans. Like My Hero, you have the good fans, you have the toxic fans. But the trouble is,
I guess I follow the right people on Twitter, because I never actually witnessed any of like the toxic.
Yeah, which is very lucky, because the thing with a lot of communities, especially fandoms, the toxic fans always the loudest. If you're going to see something happen about the fandom, it's usually the toxic fans doing something stupid or cringy, which is the My Hero, and also what the first season of Attack on Titan when that came out. That's why I was semi-glad with the hiatus, because the toxic fans slowly got filtered out, where they lost interest because it's been 4 years, and they leached on to something else, like My Hero or something else at that point. I can't even remember what the big thing, Tokyo Ghoul or something like that. No.
Oh yeah.
But
Tokyo Ghoul all ending deserve.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say it's been filtered out now, so it doesn't. I wouldn't say it has that much of a toxic fandom anymore, because, like I said, they've all been filtered out, so it's fine. My Hero, on the other hand, bit of a yikes. That one, that's got a very.
I'm really excited for the new season.
Yeah, I can't wait for it as well. I do.
Is a little story advice for you. Heroes Rising takes place sometime during or after season 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
because I think if you remember at the end of season 4, Deku was only like just starting work on like a long range version of Delaware Smash.
Yeah.
And in the Heroes Rising move, it's like a fully perfected long range move.
Oh, I know. Would I know? Do you know about? Have you read the manga? Do you know?
No, but I do know what's happening currently.
Do you know about the powers?
Yes, so like Black Whip and Float,
So he's
stuff like
getting all the powers from All for One,
that.
or
I
One for
think
All.
yeah, I think in the manga he's just gotten like the third one.
Yeah,
So
so he
like
has
he'd
like
gotten. It's
because
like in this upcoming season he's gonna get Black Whip.
yeah, because that that
some
caused
point
quite
later
a
he's gonna get.
stir. Did
Some point later he's gonna get Float, and then recently in the manga he's got like Spider Sense one.
oh yeah, because that definitely I remember when that first happened. And that was like second year of college. That bit happened in the manga, and it was like very divided. People like this is really cool, or people like this is really dumb. But I don't mind. I think it makes sense if you have like the whole point of it is meant to every time it gets passed down, they upgrades the abilities, so it makes sense for that to happen. It's just I think what annoyed people was it went from him having no superpowers to having multiple superpowers. I think was the thing that annoyed people, but like I haven't heard anything since, so that sort of died out.
How's he? Oh, I'm interested to find out how he's going to explain it away.
Yeah,
Just like, how do you suddenly have this new Black Whip ability?
just happened. Just happens. Yeah, that's the thing I always forget is that he has to keep One for All secret. And he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm totally not the new All Might. What? No.
I'm really excited for the new movie as well.
Oh, Three Musketeers.
It's not officially called that. It's just the poster has Deku back.
The funniest thing I find though is how they've done the advertising for season 5. Have you seen the poster? The one that's Reservoir
Yes.
Dogs. The one where the Reservoir Dogs poster.
I don't think I have.
That's the new official poster for season 5 is Reservoir Dogs. They're all in suits and they're doing the Reservoir Dogs black and white with the red color. That's the poster, and I'm like, this is amazing, but also really really weird thing to have as your poster. You'd have like the Justice League poster or the Avengers poster. No, Reservoir Dogs. Okay. Next thing they're gonna do the Pulp Fiction poster, but with Froppy instead of Uma Thurman. Oh dear.
Yeah, like in preparation for the 5th season, last week I watched season 1. Rewatched it all in a day, and it's because of that I've now got seasons 2, 4.1 on the way.
Oh, nice. I got. What did you think of the final arc and also the OVAs in the final season? Because I like the OVA where they're trapped in the Skyrise building.
Oh, My Hero.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, season 4. I love season 4. Just like you mentioned, Infinite 100%. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah. No, I really like Gentleman Thief. Is it?
Gentle Criminal.
Gentle Criminal. He's a really good villain.
Yeah.
He's one of the best villains, I would say.
Like, I was just kind of like, okay, when that arc came up, I was just kind of like, okay, the show's still good, but for some reason, and just like it didn't feel as good as like the first half of season 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just like when the Survive or Die OVAs came out over the summer, I had caught up already. So I watched. Oh yeah, this is just like, oh yeah, it's a good way to hold you over till season 5.
Yeah, no, I really like that OVA. I mean, there's a lot.
It takes place before season 3, during like season 3, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like he's just because during those 2 episodes he's just kind of like he's going through the thing where it's just like he can no longer like punch with his fists as like a last resort, so he has to try and figure out like a new style of how to attack. That's when he starts to come up with shoot style.
I enjoyed it, but also at the same time it was very dumb, because I'm just like, these, they're what? Like, I'm like, how is Bakugo the only one with common sense in this entire? Like, I really enjoy it, but how is he the only one that's like, we need to do this, but also at the same time, this is also just a practice. We're not actually gonna die, but we also need to do this as well. And everyone's like, oh, we need to give up. We're gonna die. We gotta escape. And Bakugo's like, no, we gotta rescue this person, but also we're not gonna die.
The rest of the show makes it seem like he doesn't have.
Yeah. No, it was good. I enjoyed it. I do enjoy a good OVA. Like I said, with Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan has some great OVAs. No regrets.
High School DxD has some really.
Don't they have like basically just an entire season worth of OVAs?
No, they don't.
I
think they only did like 4.
Really?
Across the first 3 seasons, yeah.
Oh, I thought there was more. But no, they were.
No.
They're quite good. They're funny. Which is pretty much the basis of High School DxD. Is funny. It's an easy and funny watch with questionable content.
Like as the light novels come out in English, I'm getting them and reading them. So that's good.
Yeah, my friends got the light novels, and they are. I have the first manga. I have the first volume of the manga. I'm trying to get.
The manga's completely different from the light novel.
It is, yeah.
Because like the light novel is not as it's not as sexualized as the anime is.
No, I only have a few mangas. I don't need a few animes, to be honest. I've got like Assassination Classroom, Kill la Kill, High School DxD.
Behind me on on that shelf up there is my manga and light novel.
Oh, this over here, that shelf there is the anime one. So from that yellow, which is a vinyl, onwards, so to the end is anime and then manga. That's how that's done. And the occasional figures, it's all condensed to one shelf, and that's it.
This is my anime.
Oh.
For now, I'm still waiting on a couple of parcels.
That's roughly the same width as mine, but I've only got one box set, and that I just got from a charity shop for like £2, and it's Nesukoi. Nisukoi.
It's like I got first 2 seasons of DxD. I got the first season of My Hero along with the 2 movies. I got the movie Danmachi.
Oh, yeah.
And I also got the movie of Sword Art on both DVD and Blu-ray.
Oh, I've got... Let me have a look at mine. Oh, I'm caught up on me wire. What do I have? I don't actually have that much video. I have High School of the Dead on DVD. Pantene Stocking, Ruby Volume 1 to 6, but not Volume 2. I don't have Volume 2 because I can't find it anywhere. But I have Seasons 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. But 2's still missing. I can't find that anywhere. And then the first half, Season 1... The first half of Season 1 of Nisukoi, which I haven't watched yet. I only got because I saw it and I was like, oh, I need to watch that, and it was only £2 in a charity shop, so I bought it. And then manga is Assassination. The first volumes of Assassination Classroom, High School DxD, Is This Zombie, Kill la Kill, and Ruby, and then the first 4 volumes of Rosary plus Vampire.
Oh, I remember. I had a friend in primary school who read Rosario Vampire.
In primary school?
Yeah.
Well, they had an early awakening then. That's latter half middle school era of watching it. I mean, to be fair, the first ever anime I've ever watched, the first ever one, I was tricked into watching it, was High School of the Dead. my friends were like, "You should really watch this. This is really good." I was like, "Oh, really?" They were like, "Yeah, you'll really enjoy it." I started watching this, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah,
I see.
in primary school. So for me, years 3 to 6,
Mm.
I had like this friend group. We played like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Like we read Death Note. It was fun.
No, that was my year. Well, I sort of got started on anime year 7 to 8, and then from year 9 onwards, so from year like 9 to 10, was like I had the friend group of everyone that watched anime, and we were like getting people into watching it and stuff like that. But like year 7 to 8 was the initial starting point. There was just two that just kept recommended series, and they were the ones that were like, "Yeah, you should watch High School of the Dead," and
Mm.
I'm like, "Okay." And
Yeah,
now I have a problem.
yeah, I've got a couple of friends who love anime. One of them tends to like recommend me anime, but like when I mention, oh yeah, I watched this anime, I really loved it, he just turns around and does a Nathan. I'm just like, Nathan, is that you?
No, my friend that I have that's super obsessed with anime is fine. He's not he's literally like he's the one that's watched all of Naruto, and he's just like, I watched this, but I was like, have you watched the new season of Attack on Titan? He's like, not yet, and I'm like, bro, why not watch it?
To be fair, my friend did introduce me to like a pretty good anime back in like October, November. That was on its first season, so that's good.
Which one's that?
I'm Standing on a Million Lives.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
It's good.
I the one ones I'm waiting for a second season of is Boarding School Juliet. Have you ever watched that?
No.
Really good series. It's another rewrite anime remake of Romeo and Juliet, but it's like set in a boarding school, like a boys' boarding school versus a girls' boarding school, of the Romeos and the Juliets. But it's so good. It's so funny.
Oh, there's an anime like Romeo and Juliet take from last anime season that I watched. I absolutely loved. So I got the light novels of it because I read it.
Our Last
Our Last
Crusade.
or The Rise of a New World.
Oh.
I'm really hoping they do a season 2 because I loved the first season. I'm loving the light novels.
I watched before. There was one called Romeo X Juliet, and that's like some fantasy set in a floating island Romeo and Juliet thing. And the opening, the OP is "You Raise Me Up," by Westlife, that song. But in Japanese, is the opening to the OP. But I haven't finished that. It's like 26 episodes. I haven't finished watching it. I watched like the first 5 episodes and I skipped the ending to see how they do the ending, and they do it quite well. But I haven't finished watching that. But no, Boarding School Juliet, really good. That came out 2019, I think. No, before that. That came out a while ago. Jesus, I haven't watched anime in ages. There's that. Assassination Classroom finished. Girls and Panzer.
I watched Assassination Classroom over the lock.
That's a great series. I've watched that. I watched that since episode 1, and that.
I mentioned to my Brandon when I mentioned I had finished Assassination Classroom. Did you cry when Koro Sensei died?
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, but I was getting there.
Oh no, I was very much just a mess watching that. Let's see, what are the other ones? Because I said I have my list is split into 2. So I have my top 10, which is like favourites that are really good, and then the top 10 that are just dumb fun. But like,
it's a good thing you don't watch anime on a scale like.
What do you mean?
Like this current like anime simulcast season, I'm watching like 16 like 15, 16 shows.
Jesus.
Like brand new episodes of. So I'm like watching at least brand new episode of anime a day.
That's a lot. Nah, I can't do that. Do you have my anime list? Do you use my anime list?
I use an iOS version called AniList.
Oh, wait, my Mal's on. Is that the same one I'm thinking of?
There you go. That's my watching stats. I'm currently watching 17.
Is that the same as the one I'm thinking of? Is it Mal? Does it say Mal on it?
No.
My anime list. Because I had the app. I got rid of the app. I need to get it again.
No, it's not. It doesn't say Mac.
Oh, they have an official one now on iOS.
Hmm.
My
But
Anime List
the
official.
one I'm using, I think it's an iOS only version.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my watching stats. It says I've completed 129. I'm currently watching 17.
jeez, I think I had the app before, and I don't have any more. But I've now just got the standard Mal app.
Mm. This
Um,
is the Attack on Titan final season page.
yes, no, that's the one I had. And then now I've just got the
Mm.
official one.
Look, I've got it ranked 3 stars.
3 star, really?
Well, that's because of the first four episodes of the season.
Oh, that's fair.
I had to rate it 3 stars because it wouldn't let me rate it 2.5 stars.
Oh,
Good, but hopefully, if the next couple of episodes are like really good, I'll up it to 4.
I think it is gonna pick up. To be fair,
I think one of the next 2 episodes is called Assassin's Bullet.
Assassin's Bullet.
Yeah, and I'll look on. See what
I
the two
have
episodes are called.
currently rated it. Um,
Hmm.
let's see. It is currently rated. I think I rated it at like a 7. Oh yeah, 7. It is currently ranked number 2 on Mal. But I think
On
so far that is just the hype. But yeah, no, I was right. Season.
on my tracker it says rank 7.
Oh no, I've got rank 2. Yeah, 9.15 people have rated it. So 10 under Full Metal. And then season 3 part 2 is currently sitting at number 6. It is number 5, but because of the hype around season 4, it's been bumped down. But
So the next 2 episodes are called Assault, Assassin's Bullet.
oh, I've not actually seen the poster, the current poster. I've only seen the reveal poster of Eren and then Reiner. I've not seen the one with all the Titans on. This is. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, there was like 3 different posters.
Yeah. Does it? I don't know if it will tell me how many I've watched. Will it?
I have a custom-made Attack on Titan poster on my phone.
That's cool. I do want to get the poster for all the seasons because I really like the season posters.
Here you go. This is my
Oh, that's cool.
friend made it for me.
Yeah, no, I do want to get the posters because that was like the thing to have was
Yeah, I've a custom one for High School DxD as well.
nice.
Do you want to see the 2 I'm currently using as my wallpaper
Hmm. What on your home screen?
on my phone? On my phone.
On your phone.
So I'm using this one for my locks.
Is it wrong? I need to start that series. It's on Netflix now, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, you should watch it.
I need to. My friend recommended it when it first came out, and I never got around to
This
watching
is
it.
my home. This is my home.
Is that quintessential quintuplets?
Yeah, I absolutely love that show.
Need to watch that. Need to watch that and Domestic Girlfriend.
I've watched Domestic Girlfriend. I have watched Domestic Girlfriend.
I've heard good things about both of those.
Honestly, it's good. Like, kind of at the ending is a little like very overly dramatic. But I've
Oh.
heard but I know how the manga ends, and it honestly just sounds a bit weird.
Yeah, no, I find that a lot with things along that line. There's series I've watched that are along that theme. No, not Siri. My phone was being weird. That are along that theme, the sort of ecchi, I guess, theme. And the manga always seems to have a better ending, or a completely different ending to how the series ends. Like normal ones seem to be fine, but like ecchi is like the.
Well, it usually depends because like some anime only do 1 season, as the manga goes on for ages.
Yeah. But even then, how they do, there's one really, really good old series. I think it's 90s, or at the very least, like very early 2000s. It's called Mahoramatic. I think it is 90s. Mahoramatic is like one of the original ecchi series they made. Really good, really well done series. It's like an Android-made style guardian angel type thing. The manga, completely the exact same up until the end. They introduce like a story plot point. The ending of the manga, completely different to the series, 10 times better, 10 times sadder, but it's completely different to the ending of the series. The ending of the series is good, but it's kind of lackluster. It's still sad, but it's lackluster. But the manga is like really good ending. But yeah, there's also a lot of weird ones like Aki Sora. Have you ever heard of that anime? It's more like a haname, but yeah, no, that's weird. That's Kiss Exist, but to a weirder extreme. That the anime is like your happy-go-lucky, not really happy-go-lucky, kind of strange romance, questionable story.
Yeah, if you watch Domestic Girlfriend to protect your idea of the finale of anime, do not look up what ending.
Oh, well, this series, the Akisora, the ending of the manga is really depressing. It's like it's like a super depressing ending, and I'm like, this is a polar opposite to what the series is. Series is literally just a anime.
Like I remember the end of last year, like a big manga ending they were hyping. We Never Learn.
Not heard of that one.
It's basically this high school ecchi thing where this super smart poor kid tutors a bunch of like on track special like super on track girls.
Oh.
And they all start like falling for him. So the big penultimate chapter of the manga was just like it was like this kind of alternate history thing where it showed like his future with each one of them, and then the final chapter of the manga just pulled like a complete 180. I think it ended with him not actually ending up with any of them.
I watched a really good series. No, was it a good series? I can't remember if it was a good series or not, or at least it had a good premise. But it was very much an ecchi. But it was done like it kept going back to the center point. There's a bit that happened, and it was basically like a situational thing. So like it's one guy, a bunch of girls, obviously, and it's like an after-school club, and it takes place after school, and something happens. He goes to this location. I think it's probably the changing rooms. I don't know. I don't quite remember, but it goes back to something happens, and he interacts with this one person. That's like the butterfly effect. It leads to them getting with that person, and then but it's like what happened if he heard this person talking and went to go to speak to them, then the butterfly effect will continue. What if this is basically like the Marvel what if this one event happened, very small event, like he heard a noise and went to go investigate the noise, or he ignored the noise and went and did and it leads different routes. I can't remember what it is. I don't even think it's a good. It's just I was like, that's kind of a clever premise how that's done, and it keeps going back to this point.
A good anime romance show that came out in the summer season that's based off like manga is Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
That's because it's pretty much it just got to a point where like every episode was like so funny.
I would say still the peak one I've watched is Boarding School Juliet, because it's really funny. It's also just really well done romance anime, which is kind of hard to do because it's sort of it's a tightrope between you go full on ecchi or you go full on wholesome, and this is like right in the middle. Like it doesn't really go ecchi, but it's still funny, out there, well done humor. But that's good. No, that one's a good series. I watched that. It's got to come out 3 years ago, I think now. 2 years. Manga's meant to be quite good, but I don't want to watch it because it's pretty accurate to the anime, so I don't want to spoil it. Because it's Romeo and Juliet, so I don't know if they're actually going to kill the characters off or not. Yeah. Wow,
I think we probably better wrap up the episode.
About to say it's gone on for about an hour and 20 minutes. That's quite a while. Yeah.
Alright then. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Thank you to Sam for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Cosplay.
Yes it is.
And thank you to Sam for recording this so we can have our first episode ever like this.
Yeah. Got to add a little spice to it. A little spice to that.
Alright then. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.
Tally ho.
And cut!